Bereshit, or Genesis 28. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and he commanded him and said to him, You shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take yourself from there a wife of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And may the mighty God bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples. And may he give you the blessing of Abraham to you and to your seed with you, that you may inherit the land of your sojournings, which God gave to Abraham. And Isaac sent Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram to Laban, the son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob, and Eshua. And Eshua saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram to take himself a wife from there, and that when he blessed him, he commanded him, saying, You shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And Jacob listened to his father and his mother, and he went to Padan Aram. And Eshua saw that the daughters of Canaan were displeasing to his father Isaac. So Eshua went to Ishmael, and he took Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, the sister of Nebaioth, in addition to his other wives, as a wife. And Jacob left Beersheba, and he went to Haran. And he arrived at the place and lodged there, because the sun had set. And he took some of the stones of the place and placed them at his head, and he lay down in that place. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the ground, and its top reached to heaven. And behold, angels of God were ascending and descending upon it. And behold, the Lord was standing over him, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land upon which you are lying to you, I will give it, and to your seed. The land upon which you are lying to you, I will give it, and to your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall gain strength westward and eastward and northward and southward, and through you shall be blessed all the families of the earth, and through your seed. And behold, I am with you, and I will guard you wherever you go, and I will restore you to this land, for I will not forsake you until I have done what I have spoken concerning you. And Jacob awakened from his sleep, and he said, Indeed, the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was frightened, and he said, How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob arose early in the morning, and he took the stone that he had placed on his head, and he set it up as a monument, and he poured oil on top of it, and he named the place Bethel. But Luz was originally the name of the city. And Jacob uttered a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and he will guard me on this way upon which I am going, and he will give me bread to eat and a garment to wear, and if I return in peace to my father's house, and the Lord will be my God, then this stone which I have placed on as a monument shall be a house of God, and everything that you give me I will surely tithe to you. Wow. Chapter 29. Now Jacob lifted his feet and went to the land of the people of the east. After he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and behold, 3 flocks of sheep lying beside it, because from that well they would water the flocks, and a huge rock was upon the mouth of the well. And all the flocks would gather there, and they would roll the rock off the mouth of the well, and water the sheep, and then they would return the rock unto the mouth of the well to its place. And Jacob said to them, My brothers, where are you from? And they said, We are from Haran. And he said to them, Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said to them, Are things going well with him? And they said, Things are going well. And behold, his daughter Rachel is coming with the sheep. And he said, The day is yet long. It is not the time to take in the livestock, water the sheep, and go pasture. And they said, We cannot do that until all the flocks are gathered together, and they will roll the rock off the mouth of the well, and we shall then water the sheep. While he was still talking with them, Rachel came with with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob drew near and rolled the rock off the mouth of the well, and he watered the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and he raised his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. Now it came to pass, when Laban heard the report of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran toward him, and he embraced him, and he kissed him, and he brought him into his house. He told Laban all these things, these happenings. And Laban said to him, "Indeed, you are my bone and my flesh." And so he stayed with him a full month. And Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my kinsman, should you work for me gratis? Tell me what your wages shall be." Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were tender, but Rachel had beautiful features and a beautiful complexion. And Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, "I will work for you 7 years for Rachel, for your younger daughter." And Laban said, "It is better that I give her to you than I should give her to another man. Stay with me." So Jacob worked for Rachel 7 years, but they appeared to him like a few days because of his love for her. And Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife, for my days are completed, that I may come to her." So Laban gathered all the people of the place, and he made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that Laban took his daughter Leah, and he brought her to him, and he came to her. And Laban gave Zilpah, his maidservant, to his daughter Leah as a maidservant. And it came to pass in the morning, and behold, she was Leah. So he said to Laban, "What is this that you have done to me? Did I not work for you, for Rachel? Why have you deceived me?" And Laban said, "It is not done so in our place to give the younger one before the firstborn. Complete the wedding week of this one, and we will give you this one too for the work that you will render me for another 7 years." And Jacob did so, and he completed the week of this one, and he gave his daughter Rachel to him as a wife. And Laban gave his daughter Rachel, his maidservant Bilhah, for a maidservant. And he came also to Rachel, and he also loved Rachel more than Leah. And he worked with him yet another 7 years, and the Lord saw that Leah was hated. So he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she named him Reuben, for she said, "Because the Lord has seen my affliction, for now my husband will love me." And she conceived again and bore a son, and she said, "Since the Lord has heard that I am hated, he gave me this one too." So she named him Simon. And she conceived again and bore a son, and she said, "Now this time my husband will be attached to me, for I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore he named him Levi." And she conceived again and bore a son, and she said, "This time I will thank the Lord." Therefore she named him Judah, and then she stopped bearing. Chapter 30. And Rachel saw that she had not borne any children to Jacob. And Rachel envied her sister, and she said to Jacob, "Give me children, and if not, I am dead." And Jacob became angry with Rachel, and he said, Am I instead of God? Who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb?" So she said, "Here is my maidservant Bilhah. Come to her, and she will bear children on my knees, so that I, too, will be built up from her." So she gave him her maidservant Bilhah for a wife, and Jacob came to her. And Bilhah conceived, and she bore Jacob a son. And Rachel said, "God has judged me, and he has also hearkened to my voice, and has given me a son." So she named him Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant, conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, "With divine bonds I have been joined to my sister. I have also prevailed." So she named him Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had stopped bearing children, she took her maidservant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob for a wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, bore Jacob a son. And Leah said, "Good luck has come." So she named him Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, bore Jacob a second son. And Leah said, "Because of my good fortune, for women have declared me fortunate." So she named him Asher. Reuben went in the days of the wheat harvest, and he found Dudain in the field and brought them to Leah, his mother. And Rachel said to Leah, "Now give me some of your son's Dudain." So she said to her, "It is a small matter that you have taken my husband, that you wish also to take my son's Dudain." So Rachel said, "Therefore he shall sleep with you tonight as payment for your son's Dudain." When Jacob came from the field in the evening, and Leah came forth toward him, and she said, "You shall come to me, because I have hired you with my son's Dudain." And he slept with her on that night, and God hearkened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son. And Leah said, "God has given me my reward, for I have given my maidservant to my husband." So she named him Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and she bore Jacob a sixth son. And Leah said, "God has given me a good portion. This time my husband will live with me, for I have borne him 6 sons." So she named him Zebulun. And afterward she bore a daughter, and she named her Dinah. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and he opened her womb, and she conceived and bore a son. And she said, "God has taken away my reproach." So she named him Joseph, saying, "May the Lord grant me yet another son." It came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said to Laban, "Send me away, and I will go to my place and to my land. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I worked for you, and I will go, for you know my work which I have worked for you." And Laban said to him, "If only I have now found favor in your eyes. I have divined, and the Lord has blessed me for your sake." Then he said, "Specify your wages for me, and I will give them." And he said to him, "You know how I have worked for you, and how your livestock was with me. For the little that you have before me has increased in multitude, and the Lord blessed you upon my arrival. But now, when will I, too, provide something for my household?" And he said, "What shall I give you?" And Jacob said, "You shall give me nothing. If you do this thing for me, I will return, I will pasture your flocks, and I will watch them. I will pass throughout all your flocks today, removing from there every speckled and spotted kid, and every brown lamb among the sheep, and every spotted and speckled one from among the goats. And this shall be my wages. And my righteousness will testify for me at a future date, for it will come upon my wages before you. Whatever is not speckled or spotted among the goats, or brown among the sheep, shall be counted as stolen with me." And Laban said, "Very well, if only it would be as you say." And he removed on that day the ringed and the spotted male goats, and all speckled and spotted female goats, whichever had white on it, and all the brown from among the sheep, and he gave them into the hands of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob tended Laban's remaining animals. And Jacob took himself moist rods of trembling poplar and hazelnut and chestnut, and he peeled white streaks upon them, bearing the white that was on the rods. And he thrust the rods that he had peeled into the gutters in the watering troughs, where the animals would come to drink opposite the other animals, and they would come into heat when they came to drink. And the flocks came into heat by the rods, and the animals bore ringed, spotted, and striped young. And Jacob separated the sheep, and he turned the faces of the animals toward the ringed ones, and every brown one among Laban's animals, and he made himself flocks by himself, and he did not place them with Laban's animals. And it came to pass that whenever the animals that were bearing their first would come into heat, Jacob would place the rods in the troughs before the eyes of the animals, in order to bring them into heat by means of the rods. But if the animals would delay, he would not place them, so that the ones that delayed were Laban's, and the ones that bore their first became Jacob's. And the man became exceedingly wealthy, and he had prolific animals and maidservants and manservants and camels and donkeys. I just want to say the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.